Hey guys, Brent Bowser here with Whiskey Throttle Media. We're out here today at Perris Raceway riding the 2025 KX450. We came out to Perris today. All the other tracks were closed because of the weather. We ended up on the vet track today where it was a little dry and slick. So really got to test out the settings on the KX450. Compared to 2024, the only changes that the Kawasaki made to this bike are the suspension settings. There's a lot of feedback last year that the suspension was soft, so they stiffened it up a little bit. They also made changes to the mapping, a little more aggressive mapping, and then you have your stock standard mapping too. And then the last change they made was the airbox, which I think everybody's biggest complaint last year was the airbox and the airflow and all those types of things that we were dealing with. We had to make a lot of changes to get the airflow into the engine and actually open up the bike. So those three changes are what they made. Other than bold new graphics, that's all we had. So today we wanted to do a race spec with the intro since there wasn't a lot of changes on this bike. So for the suspension on the fork, we ended up going 8 clicks out softer just because of the hard slick conditions. If you were at a track that was deeper and more loamy and you wanted that, hold up on the suspension, you probably wouldn't go as soft. But for the conditions we were at today, we ended up going softer. We kept the rebound 13 out and the fork settings at the stock height. So I'll probably play a little bit around with that as I ride the bike more, but not a lot changed on the forks. We just went a little softer for a little bit more comfort on the dry slick conditions. So for the shock, we ended up going 4 softer out, which is 16 clicks out. And so that was just, again, to get more traction with the dry slick conditions. We ended up going a half a turn out on the high speed, which ended up at 2.5 turns out. And again, with the softer shock setting, I really feel like just helped keep the traction to the ground, which ultimately on this dry slick condition helped out. We did not touch the rebound, so that's something we'll try out in the future. For the mapping, we ended up going to the less aggressive map just because of how slick it was out there. If you were at Glen Helen or Paula or anywhere back east where you have deep conditions and the track's tilled in the morning, I don't think you'd want that soft, less aggressive map. You'd probably want the stock map and just get the pull that you need out of the corners and down the straightaways. So after riding the 24 all of last year, I rode off-road races and motocross races. The one thing I did notice, the first thing when I jumped on the bike, was the suspension was a lot stiffer compared to last year. And I know that was one of the bigger complaints where we end up going softer for today. But I just felt the front end was actually a lot stiffer than last year. So they definitely made improvements on that. And then the biggest thing I noticed was, as far as the airbox goes, is you didn't have the choked up feeling. I think you could still improve it with an exhaust system, maybe drilling some holes in the airbox like we did on the 24. But overall, in stock form, compared to the 24, it definitely has opened the bike up more, and you just have a lot more airflow and the power comes with it. Appreciate the guys from Perris for having us out today. It was kind of a last minute scramble. Overall, good day on the bike, first day on the bike. We're going to fine tune this thing and do a project build. Stay tuned for that on Whiskey Throttle Media, and appreciate you guys joining us for the ride.
If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, comment what you thought, and share it with your friends.